I remember years ago when I got my first iPad, I turned up at an Exco meeting. Interesting, this was at Alcatel-Lucent, and our technology team had said, no, you can't use your iPad for traveling. It doesn't pass the security thresholds. Yeah. And I said, well, I'm going to be using it. I turned up at this Exco meeting, there were 10 of us. 6 of us had iPads. So to your point about consumer behavior drives industrial change, can I ask you a regulatory question? Sure. Ricky made the point that one of the challenges for technology companies often is that regulatory environments are so varied. And actually, mobile's been pretty good at having standards, and Spectrum too, they've been pretty good at that. But in content and in applications and in human interactions, what's your advice to the regulators around the world and here in the kingdom? How do you regulate for the metaverse, or how do you not regulate for the metaverse? What's your advice on that?
Yeah. You know, there's a variety of technologies, again, that come to play when we use the word metaverse, right? So first of those technologies is more immersive AR, VR, and again, there's aspects of that, as what we're doing with Superworld, that are very data-oriented as well. So permissioned use of data, data sovereignty, data integrity. This is where Web3 and blockchain really come to play. And then, there's digital assets. Like, we do virtual real estate around the world where, literally anyone can buy any place in the world in Superworld, and they're buying digital assets, which are called NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and you'll get a share of any of the commerce. Now, all 3 of those technologies in that example, are likely going to be regulated in different ways. AR, VR, where you're wearing a headset, maybe, children shouldn't be, in those headsets at a very young age. Maybe some requirements about that would come into play. With Web3 and crypto, we've seen, a little bit of a sag in the market recently, so this kind of things becomes a little bit more important with people who are getting into those types of assets that might not completely understand, the ups and downs of a market like that. And then, again, on the data side, in terms of privacy, in terms of, the decentralized aspect of these assets, where you are really the owner of these assets. There's no centralized party that's taking care of those things. So it comes with a lot of personal responsibility. It comes with some privacy concerns. And so to answer your question, I think that regulators need to be very open for innovation to occur. And you see that in certain markets that are a lot more forward-thinking, especially as we come to Web3, Switzerland and Singapore and places in the Caribbean that have kind of opened up and fostered some of this technology. And there's countries all over the world that are also opening up to this, including here and other places in the Middle East. And so, again, like Dubai, and I think that, opening up and fostering innovation is very important, but also providing everyone with that security, the trust of getting into these technologies. And so, a lot of that, I think Riyadh and Saudi Arabia can do a lot to educate people about these technologies, and this forum is a great way to enable people to understand, what's the best way to approach this. And at Superworld, we're really providing a gateway for people to enter the metaverse, and a lot of that's also education and also working with governments. Barbados, as an example, is building an embassy in Superworld. So governments are moving in. They're very interested in leveraging these technologies to provide the services to their citizenry around the world, too.
Very interesting.
Yeah.